Hello and welcome to a new KiCad tutorial. This tutorial is called the routing of the tracks and it is KiCad tutorial 1.4b. Now the first thing I want to point out to you is that these footprints, U1, this diode, this inductor and this U2, they are surface mounted components and the pads are on the front copper layer, and the pads of these footprints are only available on the front copper layer, abbreviated FCU. These components, however, like this capacitor and this connector and this resistor, these are hole-through components and their pads are available on both this maroon reddish front copper layer FCU and also the back copper layer, this green indicated by green, abbreviated PCU. Now just to illustrate that, if you trace, let's trace this capacitor to that connector. So okay, and we've chosen the back copper layer. So if you click here, you can see, you can trace. That one didn't work out well. Okay, but the point is, as you can see, you can place a trace between the capacitor and the connector. And even if you go to the front copper layer, if you click here, you can see it is now maroon. And as you can see, you could place a trace on the front copper layer. Now, if we place a trace between, let's place a trace between components that are on the front copper layer, like this U2 here. There we are. And you can see you can put a maroon trace between this surface mounted device and this surface mounted device. However, if you go to over here, try as you might, you'll never be able to get a trace going if you're on the front, on the back copper layer. If you go back to the front again, as you can see immediately, there the trace starts, and you can lay a trace on the front copper layer. And I found it's actually good practice to zoom in. It gives one a bit more control, and you can see what's going on. So even a simple track or trace like this. There we are. Okay, and let's do this one. This one. Okay. And there where you click, you create a bend. And I just want to get a bit away from U1 straight to the capacitor. There we are. And while we're at it, let's do this one. I want to go a bit wider here, like so. There we are. Let's do this one as well. go a bit wider here as well. I want that line as straight as possible. And you'll notice I try not to make too sharp corners. Try and keep them under 90 degrees. Okay, remember we created two net classes, signal with two nets, C3 pad and C3 pad 1 and C3 pad 2. And then there's the power class, net class, and those are the rest of the nets. Sorry, nets. So to illustrate this, if you click here on this, then you see the net name is C2 pad 1. The net class name is power, and the net class width is 22 mils, and the VR size is 36, and the VR drill is 18. Now see what happens if we want to. What happens if we connect to C3? Placing the tracks. Okay, and there we go. And you'll notice immediately that the track width is a lot narrower. And just to illustrate that, if you click on that narrow track, you get the name. That's, remember, C3 pad 1. Net class name is signal. Net class width 10 mils. VR size to 20 mils. And drill size 10 mils. Now if we go back and we connect, we place the track, you'll see we are back to the power net class with the width of the track 22 mils, VR size 36 mils, and the drill 18 mils. I want to discuss the placing of two further tracks with you. And it's these two. Just want to select that. And there we are. We may as well connect these as well. There we are. And then the other one I want to connect, because we've got to sneak around here. There we are. And the reason why I want to point out these two is because, as you can see, for this track, we either had to put in a VR for this track or this air wire. But because these are both on the top front copper layer, that pad and that pad, I decided to rather connect them. The same applies here. We either had to put a VR in here or here. Here we'll have to, I think we'll have to put in two VRs. If we chose to connect this, we either have to connect this or this. But because this one, it doesn't matter. This is a through hole, so you could connect this on the front copper layer or on the back copper layer. But this one and this one you can only connect on the front copper layer. So you all probably would have had, if you wanted to jump over, if we put this track in the front copper layer, you probably would have to make use of two vias to jump over this. But because we chose this track with this pad and this pad, we probably can get away with only one via to connect this pad with this pad. For this last one, I'd like to zoom in a bit. Like so. And we start on the back copper plane. Up until here, we right click, place through via. There we are. Here's our place through via. And we proceed until there it is. Okay, zoom out, there it is. Got away with one via, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Click the subscribe button, give the video a like, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.